What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the facial. Welcome to my channel. So y'all, I want to talk about Bob Lee, the Cash App guy who was stabbed to death in San Francisco on April 4th. Bob Lee was the founder of Android and Cash App. He was like a high profile billionaire that, ran Cash App. He had a lot of dealings with the banking system where he was trying to, he was in the process of suing Fed Now, which is a new app that's coming out that's supposed to be similar to Cash App, and he was suing them because they was trying to steal his brand. Like he came up with that, and now they was trying to come up with it, and they was going through some court battles. But I just want to say that what happened is it's alleged that he went to Frisco for a meeting with with some texts and stuff to talk about his businesses and stuff that he had endeavors he had in store. And while he was in the meeting, I mean not while he was in the meeting, and while he was there, he had met up with a couple of friends that he did business with, and he knew, well known. They had some drinks throughout the day, chill, kick it. It was Momeni and his sister, and it was alleged that Momeni thought that Bob Lee and his sister was doing drugs. Now that's what I allegedly got from the information that I researched. And he was questioning him about it. Momini was questioning Bob Lee about it, and Bob Lee was like, "No, I'll show you. We haven't done drugs. We haven't done anything. I guess because they have been kicking and drinking and hanging out all day. So he thought drugs had something to do with it. And so later on that night, they had dinner. They ate. They kicked it. They hung out. So momentum was shown picking up Bob Lee in a car, and about a few hours later, he drove him to an undisclosed area where he did the poking, and then you can see Bob Lee stumble out the car into front of the building and fall to his death just a short time afterward, and you saw his BMW take off. So they said Momeni is the person they have in custody that allegedly stabbed Bob Lee to death. And they said that they're saying the reason is because many thought that Bob Lee and his sister was doing drugs. Now, I don't believe that story. Y'all can carry that story on with y'all. I'm going to let y'all listen to the clip. I think that this is a shame. And I think that this situation has a lot more to do with the government, allegedly, than what we think. Bob Lee was a big profile. He had at Cash App, and a lot of the government don't like Cash App. Just to say that they didn't like how Cash App was being not able to track anything. You can get money up to so much amount at a time. You can take it out. Nobody knows it. You remember Cash App used to give 1099s. Now Biden has put it into law that anything over $600 has to be reported to the IRS coming through Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, anything, and all those little banking thing. And I think Cash App owned all of those entities. If I'm not sure, Bob Lee owned all those other little banking systems. And so I think it has a lot to do with that. Don't quote me on it, but they're trying to say that this happened because Momentum thought that that Bob Lee and his sister was doing drugs and he wasn't telling the truth. I don't believe that for nothing. You guys go out, do your own research, check this story out. You can go listen to a bunch of YouTube bloggers that got this information. Um, yeah, and do your own research. Put it in perspective the way you want, because a lot of people got a lot of more different information in regards to this title and this situation with Bob Lee, and it's not just him being stabbed because doing no drugs or doing drugs with somebody's sister, allegedly. So, like I say, I think it has a lot to do with the government, and they didn't want him to continue his mission, and he was going to sue them. They knew he was going to win, and yeah, I think they had something to do with allegedly taking him out. So that's just my theory. Y'all can do y'all own research and think what y'all want. That's just my opinion. I'm gonna go ahead and show this little clip of the video that they're trying to say that what happened and who he was with, and at the moment and the time that the incident took place. Y'all go ahead and check it out. Please hit the subscribe button, like, share the videos, hit the notification bell for future videos. On that note, I'm out, and everybody have a beautiful, blessed
Driving
day.
off in Momeni's BMW around 2 a.m. to a dark, secluded area.
Mr. Momeni was driving. They ended up in the area of the stabbing, and that is where they exited the vehicle, and approximately 5 minutes later is when the stabbing took place.
Minutes later, Lee is seen on camera walking away and injured. The BMW seen on video taking off at high speed. Police saying they found a 4-inch kitchen knife in a parking lot near the scene of Lee's murder, the blade covered in blood.
The suspect's arraignment has been postponed until the end of the month. He is currently being held without bail. Guys?
Those court documents all day. He's joining us live now. So, it sounds like this is really giving us the clearest picture yet of how Bob Lee and his alleged killer were connected, right?
Yes, Sarah, we're definitely getting more information. And the court hearing today actually lasted only just a few minutes. In fact, the arraignment was postponed to April 25th. But you're right. Today, we found out more about why and how the Bob Lee murder happened. Investigators believe accused murderer Nima Momeni was angry with Bob Lee over Lee's relationship with this woman, Momeni's younger sister. Her name is Karza Momeni. She's married to San Francisco plastic surgeon Dr. Dino Liasnia, seen on the right. It's unclear what kind of relationship Lee and the sister was in, but investigators say they had known each other for years.
It appears from witness statements that Mr. Lee is somehow a friend of this woman, and that is what the connection is between the two men.
In newly released court papers, investigators say tech executive Bob Lee, a close friend identified only as Witness 1, and Kazar Momeni were drinking at an apartment on the 1500 block of Mission Street in the afternoon of April 3rd. In the charging document, investigators wrote, female was married, but the relationship had possibly been in jeopardy. Witness 1 was unsure if victim and female had an intimate relationship. Investigators say a few hours later, Bob Lee and his friend, Witness 1, went to Lee's hotel. In the hotel room, investigators say Witness 1 overheard a conversation between Lee and accused killer Nima Momeni. The defendant was questioning Lee if his sister was doing drugs or anything inappropriate. Witness 1 said that victim had to reassure defendant nothing inappropriate had happened.
There appeared to be some discussion about whether or not she had used drugs between the two men, but at this time, that's all that we've released. Investigators
say the sister lives in a condo at the Millennium Tower. They say surveillance footage showed Lee entering the tower on April 4th, 12:39 a.m. Investigators say the defendant and his sister were already at the condo. They say surveillance footage showed the defendant and Lee leaving the Millennium Tower in the defendant's white BMW Z4 at 2:03 a.m. Investigators say Momeni drove Lee to the 400 block of Main Street, where the two got out of the car and talked on the sidewalk for about 5 minutes. Investigators believe Momeni ended the conversation by stabbing Lee 3 times, once in the hip and twice in the chest. Investigators say they recovered a bloody silver kitchen knife with a 4-inch blade. Investigators say surveillance footage in the area recorded an injured Lee walking and looking for help as the defendant sped away in his BMW. Police found Bob Lee unresponsive and lying in the street at around 2:35 a.m. He died a short time later at SF General. Investigators say at one point the defendant's sister texted Lee, "Just wanted to make sure you're doing okay, because I know Nima came way down hard on you. And thank you for being such a classy man, handling it with class. Love you."
When's the last time you saw your brother?
Kazar Momeni held her husband's hand as they waited for the Friday court hearing at the Hall of Justice. She refused to answer any questions. Cameras were not allowed inside the courtroom. That's why you're looking at a sketch there. It actually shows at one point the family members actually using their hands to make that heart symbol to show their support for the defendant Momeni. And Momeni actually replied with using his hands to gesture the heart symbol back to the family members. And that's what you are looking there. Now, Momeni remains in custody, and we understand if convicted, Sarah, he is facing 26 years to life in prison.
Wow, just a really fascinating